Hi, Jenniffer Jamison with part two of evaluating your financial aid award letter. So, your award letter is going to come to you directly from the school. You're usually going to get it in March. Hopefully, you get it sooner than that, but it's going to have key components like your estimated family contribution, your cost of attendance from the school broken out, the scholarships, which is the free money or money that you don't have to pay back, and grants, and then again, loans and or work study. Work study, um, this is basically a job that you're going to get paid money and you're going to use that money for your living expenses. That's typically how that works. Now, um, Davidson College has done a lot of things for us in the past, and this is an example that they show about how people break down and compare their award letters. So here you're seeing that Davidson College has a philosophy of trying to meet 100% of the student's need. So your need is calculated by taking the cost, subtracting the estimated family contribution to determine need. Now, at each of these schools, Davidson Public University 1 and private university 2, the cost is different. So the need ends up being different, even though the EFC is the same all the way across. Then you have merit-based money that they're giving you. Notice that Davidson doesn't give any merit-based money or doesn't have it right here, but another private university might offer you merit-based money. And they might have told you about that money on your admissions letter. Then you have your grants, and then I want you to be careful because your loans and your work study are things that you either have to do something to achieve or you have to pay it back later. So notice that each of these schools got your need down really close. Davidson down to 0, public university down to 0, and then private university down to $3,000. But the bottom line is different, and you end up paying more based on having to pay the loans back at a later time. So this is just an example. I am not like selling Davidson. Other schools have different things. It was a good example. Now, the other thing I want you to do when you're evaluating your award letters is I want you to look at the salary. Go ahead and find out how much do you think you're going to make, because you're going to use that to determine whether or not what you're about to pay for college is a good investment, right? You want to review your award letters. You want to enter the key components from those award letters into a spreadsheet or some type of tracker. You want to search for salaries. And then you want to determine which offer is best for you. And you really need to involve your family in this process, right? You need to make sure mom and dad understand what these costs are and what you're kind of setting yourself up for. So here are some real life examples. So this is the University of South Carolina. They are using the format that is recommended. It is basically the cost of attendance at the top, your grants, scholarships, which gets you to net cost, um, any kind of work study, and then loans down at the bottom. Okay. Now, this is Chapel Hills. Now, Chapel Hill does break out the cost of attendance on the left here. And they're not offering this particular student any kind of scholarships. They're only offering them unsubsidized loans. You can choose to take those loans or not take those loans. But notice the breakout. The housing is separate from the food. And in the previous example, we saw food and housing combined. So when you're comparing on your spreadsheet the cost of college, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Here's another example. This is App State. You get this right off of their website. They broke out the cost of tuition or attendance. Notice tuition and fees, room and board are together on this one, okay? And then they're also giving a federal loan. That's a loan. Most schools will break it out by fall and spring semester. Here's UNCW, breaking it out by fall and spring semester. They are offering a combination of grants and loans. It's really important that you understand which of these is a grant and which of these is a loan. The Seahawk grant for $1,200, everything else up there is some kind of work study or loan. Here's another example, UNC Charlotte. You can see that it's, you really got to be a detective and make sure that you understand what you're looking at when you're comparing all these different offers. And then here's Wingate University. Same thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish. Okay. That was my alarm for 5 minutes, but basically things you want to make sure you consider. Consider the cost for all 4 years of college, right? You don't want to just say, oh, it's only going to cost me X for year one. What is renewable? What is not renewable? What do I have to do to get that renewed money? So think of your cost for all 4 years when determining which school you're going to go to. Um, you want to consider the cost of living in a college town. If you're required to live on campus the first year, but you can't get campus housing the second year, you need to go find out how much does an apartment cost in that town so that I can make sure that I'm putting that in the budget. And oh, by the way, when you're doing your 4 years of college, the cost of an apartment, you usually have to pay 12 months of the year, not just the time that you're at school. So you want to make sure that you're putting that into your cost. You want to use a spreadsheet or tracker. There's lots of great free spreadsheets and trackers. And you want to remember that you are going to have to complete the FAFSA every single year. Okay. If you don't do it, you're going to lose some of your financial aid money. Okay. The schools will use that to determine your financial aid need every single year. Okay. So if you need any help from Crosby, give me a call. Otherwise, I am about to record one on loans, and I really encourage you to go listen to that conversation. Thanks.